Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So I came out the other day to use my tractor and I had almost a flat tire. And what I found out is I've got a slow leak over here on this tire. So let's look into this a little bit. I took some Dawn dish soap detergent and I sprayed it on this. And what I found out was it was leaking around this valve stem. And that's a little shot of PB Blaster. And you can see it's starting to blow bubbles. So now that it's soaked in PB Blaster a little bit, it almost looks like it's leaking down here too. Yep, it is. It's leaking down there. So these come apart right here at this joint, but it looks like it's got some leak coming down there. Let me just go get some soap and check it out. Okay, let's spray this with some dish detergent. So it for sure is leaking right here. What I can't tell is if these bubbles are forming or they're just part of this other, but definitely leaking around there. Yeah, it looks like I got bubbles coming up down around here too. So I think I need a whole new valve stem. I was hoping maybe I could just change this inner part. Okay, and I've got a new valve stem here. Like I said, they actually screw apart right here, which I didn't know. But that could be responsible for the bubbles that are coming up around here. But the bubbles going down here at the bottom of this nut, I don't think that would be the case. So I've got a farm service guy that's actually already supposed to come by here tomorrow morning. But I'm going to take and put this valve stem at the top of this tire. I don't think this tire is fluid filled because it's got so many weights on the outside of it. But let's move this valve stem up to the top. And since I've already got a tire guy coming, I can't really mess it up too much. Okay, let me know when I get that valve stem to the top of that. Okay, this probably isn't the smartest thing to do. I should probably just leave this to a professional. But hey, I'm fully committed now. So let's get this thing jacked up, and all I'm going to do is take the weight off that tire, and then let's play with that valve stem, see what we can do. All right, so the first thing we'll do is jack this up, and we're just going to unweight this tire, and I've got a 20-ton jack lifting one corner of a 6-ton tractor, so it ought to work. Okay, and she's off the ground. Okay, now that this tire's off the ground, and you can see it is, I can rock it back and forth, and the only reason I can't spin it is because it is in gear. But I'm gonna pull the valve stem out of this tire. So be ready for it to be a little loud. It's got 21 pounds of air is what it calls for. And when I was looking for the leak, I just slightly overinflated it. So we'll let this come out. Pretty sure there's not fluid in this tire, but we've got the valve stem at the top just in case there is. There we go. Okay, so air's coming out. What I want to see is if I can possibly unthread this piece from the next piece up. Look at that, and it's going to unthread easily. Okay, so 20 pounds of air can propel this thing pretty, it shot out of there like a cannon. Luckily my fingers and everything were back, but that's got a brass piece. Look at all that corrosion on that. that might just be why that's leaking. If not, it's the seat that this goes against, in which case it will have to have a new valve stem put in from the inside, which means this tire will have to be busted off this rim, which is something that I don't want to have to even try to do. So here are our pieces, and the one I've got looks slightly different, but let's see if it'll work. Well, screwed in. Let's give it a little snuggie. Okay, I'll shoot some air in this and see if it leaks or not. Okay, so we'll use our quick inflate here. So it's got 0 in it now, which is understandable. And this only takes 21 pounds, but it takes a long time to get that 21 pounds in it. So we'll be right back. Okay, since that's going to take a while, I went ahead and put my quick clamp on it. And we're filling this thing up. And as soon as it gets up to about 20 pounds, we'll see if it's still leaking. It was leaking right here at this joint for sure. And I couldn't tell, maybe there were a few bubbles coming around this nut up here. But we'll see how it goes. So check it out, we're up to 7.4 pounds and it's been inflating for about 3 or 4 minutes now. This quick chuck and valve sure do work nice. Okay, let's go ahead and just see how much and if that quick flate coupler actually leaks or not. Wow, I think I might have solved the problem. Now the only problem is my spray bottle won't spray. I don't see any soap coming out of there. Okay, it looks to me like I've solved this leak, which was the bigger of the two. It looks like there's still some bubbles showing up down here on this end of it here. Although that ain't bad. Okay, we're up to pretty much 21 pounds, so 21.1 it says. So let's pull this off and let's look for a leak. Okay, it's no longer leaking here, which is where the biggest part of the leak was, but there's still a little bit of a leak right there. So I've already got the service guy called, so I think I'll go ahead and let him come out. We'll check the other side real quick. See that? It's no longer leaking here at all, but it is still leaking a little bit right around there. So we'll check the other side. Okay, and this one has no leakage at all, so that's good. Looks like this one's maybe a little shinier too. I wonder if it's been replaced. But we're good to go over here. So I guess we'll resume in the morning when the tire repair guy comes out. Okay, so putting this new piece in here, it's no longer leaking at all between the new brass piece and the old brass piece. But it is still leaking around the seal of that because these bubbles that are coming up behind that nut. Which is much less of a leak than it had. But I've already got the tire guy scheduled, so I'm just going to let him come out and replace his valve stem. So I'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll check this out. What I think you'll have to do is break this bead and then put the new valve stem in, which probably isn't a big deal if you do it all the time, but this would be a first for me, and I just don't feel like messing with it. So sometimes the best part of DIY is knowing when to say when. and I'm gonna let the professionals handle it from this point forward. So I had the tire guy come out, and he looked at the valve stem, and he goes ahead and tries to tighten it up a little bit. And then actually when he tightened it up, it started leaking more, which he said is a sure sign that that rubber seal on the inside has dry rotted and is leaking. So he went ahead and checked the other side and made sure that the air pressure in it was good and that nothing was leaking. And then he went ahead and proceeded to replace the valve. So we actually got into a pretty good conversation while he was changing this and explained everything that needed done. And I would have never thought to wire rim the entire rim of that. But like I said, that got it sealed better, and then he actually used sealant on it too. The majority of this looks like something that you could DIY if you were ambitious with it. But the one place that I saw that would have been horrible was he struggled to get that bead reset on that rim. And I've fought with tires before, and I've got a tire bead blaster for smaller tires, but that wouldn't touch the volume of that tire. So without the special tools that he had to be able to get that bead back on there, I think I'd end up having to call somebody even if I would have gotten the valve replaced myself. So anyway, it's always good to watch professional work, and I understand how to do it now, but I still think I'll be calling them the next time it needs done. Okay, so our tire guy just left, and he put a new valve stem in this, and he said the problem with it was obviously the corrosion on the inner part of the valve, which I had replaced yesterday, which was about 80% of the leak, but it was still leaking quite a bit around the valve stem too. And he said that rubber piece on the inside gets worn out, and that's probably what had happened. So he said it wasn't a big deal to put a valve stem in it, and it literally took him about 5 minutes to do that. I was amazed. I've seen outside some of the CrossFit gyms and stuff, all the people out there hitting those tires with a sledgehammer, and he gets paid to do it. So I don't know. All right, well, give us a like if you like this video. We sure appreciate it. It definitely helps the channel, and we invite you to subscribe to see more. Have a great day and be safe. And if you're wondering, having that truck come out and fix that, $172, but it's worth it. Definitely worth it. So have a great day and be safe.